Hello everyone. So today we are introducing the Talking Head series, where Paul and I sit down and chat about things that interest us, questions that are asked, and just general cool stuff. So today we're going to begin with talking about our definitive maker moment, if you like. So Paul, what was your sort of first big maker moment where you made something and thought, that's really cool, I want to do more of that?
And really, I should have prepared a good answer. It's not like I didn't know this was coming.
Mm-hmm. You had time to prepare.
Yeah. Well, it was always the same. If an essay can be done the night before, why shouldn't it be done the night before? Anyway, to the point.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably the first full Predator bio that I sculpted was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Because something went from literally a plaster armature, some blocks of clay, to something that looked, well, like that, or that. Neither of those were sculpted by myself, but
Close enough.
the point stands. They are Predator bios. I sculpted a Predator bio. So that was probably it for me. And I mean, I spent weeks on that thing.
How long ago was that? It's got to be decades at this point, right?
You're not far off. It was about 15 years ago. So yeah, it was a while ago. We called it the Gort bio at the time on the Hunter's Lair. It now has different names. I think it's the Temple Guardian bio that was released officially because I had to sculpt mine from, I think, probably around 3 reference shots, which was all that was available.
Okay.
Because this one, it was the original design for Predator, but there's quite a lot going on with the face.
Mm-hmm.
And so they looked at it on camera, it was like they felt it gave too much away of the monster head and face underneath and what that would look like. And so they wanted to go with something a bit more of a blank canvas where it's obviously a mask.
Yeah.
And not, something that could be this biological, technical.
Yeah, well, it was such a big reveal in the film and such an important shot.
Exactly.
You want to hide it from most of it, don't you?
Yeah. At that point, you've already had some idea of it. And so that Arnie's line, "You're one ugly motherfucker."
Mm-hmm.
Though it would have lost quite a bit of impact. It's like, yeah, he's already kind of ugly.
Yeah, if you could already see it.
And so, yeah, so it never made it into the film. It did make it into the end of Predator 2 as one of the group of hunters that comes in at the end.
Okay.
So you can see it in there. But yeah, as a result of this, like the only references I had were like behind the scenes shots from before filming, just like test fittings and everything. So I think there were probably maybe 3 or 4 images that I had to work from. None of them particularly good quality. Because, why make things easy for yourself? But when actually when the official one came out, that obviously someone had either found the original mold or an original cast and had copied that. I was quite pleased at how close I got it. There was obviously, it was a long way from being perfect, but given other attempts before mine, I still think it stands up. So,
are there any pictures that exist still of that one that you did that we can share with people?
We will put a photo up of
Here, editor's note,
and you can see on the left mine, and on the right the official one that was made from the original piece.
Mm-hmm.
So
very cool.
Yeah, that was probably the big one for me was taking something from literally nothing to this finished piece and actually thinking, you know what, that actually is pretty good. I know as artists we often have you do something and you're like,
it looks terrible, it looks terrible, it looks terrible.
Yeah,
suddenly it looks great.
Crap. Why am I even bothering?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I did go through a lot of that in the sculpting stage of like, this is awful. Why am I doing this to myself? Why? Who would want this? Not me. And then all of a sudden it's boom, and it looks good suddenly. And then you overwork it a bit and it looks crap again.
And then you have to go back and do it again.
Yeah, 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah, I think that probably holds true for a lot of people, and myself included. When you go from nothing or a pile of materials, block of clay, stack of wood or whatever it is, to having something that exists because of you,
Yeah.
I think is such... It's probably shared between a lot of people, I would have thought, that do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because mine was very similar, not in terms of content, but in terms of the process. For my moment, it was less about the thing I was making and more about the tool that I had to make the thing, or the tool I needed to make the thing.
Right.
As odd as that might sound, but it comes down to whenever I purchased a cordless drill. And what comes with that, again, it's completely different in terms of it's not sculpting, it's not art as such, but it's a tool that allows you to, as simple things, drill holes and attach things together.
Yeah.
So the first thing I was doing, well, one of the early things I was making was a tabletop wargaming board, a custom one that came in 3 sections, had to have a wooden frame, polystyrene, create a terrain, etc., etc. But I still remember the first time when I had the bits of wood and suddenly I fastened them together, just screwed them together, had a box frame, and suddenly it was no longer a stack of wood and some MDF in the corner. It was a box that could have things put in it. In this case, you fill up some styrene, you cover that over with some sort of terrain paste, and it's no longer just a wooden box, it's a landscape from a planet somewhere in some fantasy setting. But the simple act of being able to fasten 2 things together, I was immediately like, well, what else can I fasten together? What else can I put together? It's like, oh, I could make some shelf. I could make a shelving unit, buy some 2x4s. I have a motorcycle in the backyard that's sort of uncovered. Oh, I can build a little shed for it, a little covering. So more, I guess if you want to call it making and construction as opposed to art, but eventually that obviously came full circle with this stuff as well. But as I say, something so simple as being able to stick 2 things together and then take them apart again if you want.
Yeah,
it was just so eye-opening.
If I may paraphrase it, it's one very small step in terms of what you can do, but it's a giant leap for what you think
about what you can do.
Of what you can do.
Yeah, I suppose that's a really good way to put it, actually. Yeah.
You know, in reality, you're doing very small things. It's literally just drilling holes and screwing screws, but you're creating so many possibilities with those.
And that's, I think you've hit the nail on the head. That's probably the best to describe it. That simple action opening your thought process to the wider world, which I guess is what's ultimately led to wanting to learn lots of new things, because it's like, oh, that looks kind of cool. You do it and you're like, oh, I can do all this extra stuff too. Yeah. And it sends you down the rabbit hole of doing too many things and having too many hobbies, as probably most of us have. But it's just, it's almost like chasing that feeling again. Maybe that's subconsciously what I'm doing. I don't know. Psychologists would probably better tell me. But just, that's, as you say, such a simple act, opening your mind to huge possibilities.
Yeah.
So that's a roundabout way of saying how my maker moment effectively was. And that wasn't that long ago. It was only 9 years.
Right. I mean, obviously you came to work here.
Only 2 years ago.
Yeah. Less than 2 years ago. And so it's gone from, I have a drill. I can drill holes and screw things. To, well, actually, I can do pretty much whatever you want me to do.
Yeah. And it crosses over into other things. It's not just making props or making these or whatever it happens to be. It could be mechanics, working on cars, working on bikes, whatever it happens to be. Yeah. You sort of think, oh, if I can learn how to do that on the car, then suddenly everything expands. So if anyone is wondering where to start, buy a cordless drill. Doesn't have to be expensive. Mine wasn't.
Yeah,
and then
no.
start making things.
My first cordless drill, I think, was maybe £30.
Yeah, and
It was not great.
no. You can get even cheaper ones, but I probably wouldn't recommend it.
No.
It's more hassle than it's worth, in all honesty.
Yeah, can does not mean should.
And I think that will do us there then for that.
Yeah,
Unless there's something else you want to add about.
No, I just think, what were your maker moments? Let us know in the comments, or, if you've had an experience like this and this tiny little thing has made you think, oh, I can do so much more than that. And what has that blossomed into? We would love to hear it.
Yes, absolutely. So from me, Chris, and Paul, thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.